Hello, I am Bomber, and we're here with AlansBMX at the MK 2019 Mid-School Festival. So, we are here in the Mid-School tent. Obviously, an era close to my heart. Over here we've got, you've got your Hoffman Flashes, good old standard. Who didn't have a standard STA back in 1998? Dropouts like dinner plates, and sprockets even bigger than that. So, we've got a lovely array of T1 barcodes right here, as you can see. God knows how these dudes keep these in mint condition, because it's, it's like it's just come straight out of backyard shop back in 1998. We're stuck in the time warp, baby. So, yeah, you got your barcodes. What we got here? Another barcode. This guy, T1 Reuben frame, which is a bit of a newer model of the T1 range. I don't know how that snuck in there, but I think that's around about 2008, this piece. And here, have a bike near and dear, close to my heart. I myself had one of these bad boys when I was about 15 years old. And that was just around the time of 36 sprocket trend took off, so I got really eager on the sprocket stalls. So you gotta think, man, I cracked it under here from numerous sprocket stall attempts, but there you go, mate, that's what we're saying. So obviously pride of place is for this year's MK 2019. We have a shed ton of S&M bikes here. Obviously, this event coincides with the launch of the Behind the Shield book in conjunction with S&M and 4Down Distribution. So what we got here, we got a good old dirt bike here. Let me check that out. Look at the size of that frickin' sprocket. Primo, what are these? Odyssey Trip Trap pedals. Sure to give you the shinner. Christ, no, why they made them that bad. Maybe shoes were just really slippy back then. So, word on the street is this actually belonged to the Fids. I'm not sure what year, but obviously a bit weird for him not to have a yellow bike. But yeah, supposedly this belonged to the Fids. Obviously Lord stickers plastered all over that bad boy. Nice Union throwback there. So yeah, what we got our Challengers, Widowmakers, before my time, that bad boy. Now Holmes, this was the longer version of the dirt bike, right? I believe so. And I remember my friend had one of these back in '98. I was always jealous of that piece. We got some of these redneck stems down here. Shit, I thought that was a Challenger stem, but menstrual stem. I didn't even know they'd done that stem. I thought it was just a menstrual cycle frame. So, but yeah, menstrual cycle. Obviously, that is a fucking piece. Look at the down tube on that bad boy. Pierced head tube, which God knows why you'd need that, but it does have it. So obviously, this wouldn't be a mid-school S&M chat without the man who owns more S&M frames than Chris Moeller himself. We have got Chris Moeller's favourite UK son, Alex Leach. So, how you doing today, Alex?
All right, we're having an actual conversation about stems.
Yeah. Stems.
It's really interesting.
Quilled or clamp-on?
Clamp-on, 1 inch though.
Mate. Another S&M OG legend, Ian Morris in the house. So, full rep of the S&M squad from yesteryear. So, Alex, which of these bikes are yours?
Mine are all over there in the corner there.
How many have you got today?
11 or 12, I think.
Christ.
So the black 24 inch there, right round to the chrome heavy as there. A bit of a range of years, but apart from the Challenger there, they're all 1 inch. And I guess the one closest to my heart is that black one, cause that's my first S&M pretty much set up like I rode it. Just that's my bike.
Oh Christ. Look at that bash guard.
Bash guard, core bash guard.
What were you doing on that bash guard?
Just hammering hell out of everything. Core bash guard, that's got the first ever left-hand drive wheel. It's a mountain bike hub I modified and put big fat spokes on it. But as we ordered back then, the bike changed every week. You'd always change something, the chain ring or everything. So yeah, it was just, it's definitely bits which was built at one time, but it'll be different in every photo you ever saw of it.
So obviously you used to ride for S&M back in the 90s. How did the obsession with collecting S&M frames begin? Obviously, is it through riding them, or did you start collecting before?
I didn't start collecting before, but I've never stopped riding, so there's definitely an overlap. But I just got into the nostalgia of thinking about all the cool old S&Ms, the cool 1 inch S&Ms, and thinking, it'd be nice, I've got my one, it would be nice to have maybe one of every style of 1 inch S&M frame. And that was my goal, and they're about 12, but 2 of them are never going to happen, so I got most of them.
How understanding is your significant other half?
My wife is very understanding and helped me carry every one of them out of the shed into the van yesterday. And I got a very big shed.
Now, because you're so into S&M, are you into S&M in the bedroom with your wife?
You know only too well I am.
That's exactly the answer I was looking for. Alex, thank you for your time. Thank you for bringing these bikes along.
No problem.
So next up we have Ian the Rail Slayer Morris, obviously a pioneer of the 90s, just bastardizing rails from Wales to Timbuktu. So I know there is a bike very similar to your bike that you rode when you rode for S&M back in the 90s. Do you want to, let's go take a view at her?
Look at it. So basically it's the S&M heavy as fuck frame, which I tested for Ride UK. I think it was issued 94, maybe 95. And this is the one I got a poster in Ride, doing a handrail in Brighton. And then Jonathan has actually built the bike exactly the same, pretty much as what I had it built back in the day, apart from the grips and something else, I'm not sure, maybe the wheels, but pretty much identical to what I rode back in that bike test.
Oh, awesome. Yeah. So from the heavy as fuck, what frame did you ride after that?
I think I went back to I might have had a menstrual cycle.
Oh really?
Yeah, I had that for a while.
Christ.
I think I did. Yeah.
So you must have ridden like a large range of the S&Ms that came out in the 90s. Obviously Sabbaths, dirt bikes, pretty much every frame that Chris Miller produced back then. What was your favourite S&M frame from that time period?
Probably the Sabbath Light.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love that frame.
That was the one without the platform on the top, right?
No, it did have a platform, but it was just a lighter version of it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But it was like a short, obviously because I'm short, 19-inch top tube, and it was just perfect. Steep head tube angle, so it was really perfect for me.
So when you brought home the S&M heavy as fuck frame, was your mum concerned that you were riding bikes with swear words on?
I was 24 years old. I was grown up.
Good. Cheers, Ian. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
So, he's not here. John, who owns these many bikes. But obviously, we take the time, to pay homage. Obviously, we here have a Wilson Airlines piece with a pretty gnarly on, welded on fuck knows. Whew, mate. Look, check this out. Why do this? Obviously, here, this is this an original? Shit, look at this. So you can stand here and then also stand here. Why would you need to stand in 4 different places? I don't know, but Christ, bikes sure as hell were ugly back then. Obviously, they went from overbuilt Taiwan cheap thin pieces of shit. What else we got here? Oh my god. So this, I've just noticed this bike here. This is a Gary Young Dirt Brothers. It looks like pretty much just like Gary Young's ride for when he rode for Dirt Brothers back in the early 2000s. Obviously 1 foot table ready at all times. Some awesome tan color there. Here we also have a Hoffman Condor. Obviously, well, Matt Hoffman, I think he still rides a Condor to this day, obviously an up-to-date version. But if you check it out, we have got peg mounts and the forks, Hoffman tip forks, I believe. And Christ, I'd never seen this in my life, but peg mounts on the back. Obviously, whether the peg went here or there, they still sheared off within days of trying grinds on them. What else have we got? Obviously, I think we got a bunch of race bikes here. We'll just skip this version, skip this, because basically, obviously, I'm more interested in the better bikes, if I'm honest. So we've got John here, and obviously he's kindly brought a bunch of his awesome S&M bikes here today. How are you enjoying today, John?
Yeah, it's awesome. Good every year. Really
highlights?
Mid-school 10 for sure. And yeah, it's good to see so many guys turning up this year and so many bikes on the Saturday. Normally the mid-school guys kind of sleep it off until the Sunday. So seeing so many bikes here on the Saturday is awesome.
So obviously, how many S&Ms you got here? 1, 2, 3, 4,
7
5,
today.
6, 7. How many have you got in total?
I got about 36 bikes in total, and about 21 of them are S&Ms.
That is fucking deep, guys. I mean, so how did this obsession with collecting bikes start?
Well, I've been riding bikes pretty much my whole life, and the first real BMX I got was a 1-inch Holmes. Way back in the 90s. I used to race it, I used to ride streets on it, I used to ride trails on it, and it was just an amazing bike. And
Color?
it was chrome.
Ooh, nice,
Yeah.
very
So
nice.
Ever since then I've had a soft spot for S&Ms, and about 10 years ago I kind of saw a few of the early bikes popping up on eBay and things like that, and they were pretty good money, like not too expensive, and it became an obsession, and now I have one of every single 1-inch S&M ever made.
Holy shit. I'm sure you've got a very understanding significant other.
I do indeed, yeah. Humors me.
Of course. So let's just clarify, he doesn't actually live in his mum's basement, ladies and gentlemen. He has had sex. So even if you're a BMX nerd, there is still hope. You can get out that basement and you can get laid.
Exactly.
So
that's good.
Which,
Keeps me busy.
which is your favorite from the collection, John?
They're all kind of special, to be honest. You got to hunt them down and find various parts. I think for sure the Mad Dog, kind of where S&M started. I mean, the K9 was the first bike, but it wasn't really a production bike, and the Mad Dog was the first bike that kind of put S&M on the map. So that's a pretty special one. But all of them really. I mean, the 1990 Holmes, original paint and decals. It's a proper survivor, plenty of scratches and rust. It's a pretty special bike as well. This menstrual cycle is actually Go-Go from Team Sano in Scotland. That's his personal bike from back in the day.
Oh, holy shit.
So yeah, it's a lot of kind of British history in that one. And then this one is just a replica of the bike Ian Morris rode back in the 90s. Try to build it as close to his spec as I could. But yeah, in one way or another, all of them are pretty special bikes, and you kind of get attached to them when you got to hunt parts from all over the world and whatnot. So
What is the craziest thing, most expensive thing you've done to get a part or a frame for your collection?
I think some of the craziest things I've done is how you get them into the UK, because a lot of the stuff you buy from the US, people aren't too keen to ship to the UK. So I've got a lot of friends over there who have very patiently hoarded parts for me in the US until I could bring them over one way or another. So yeah, they've come through in people's luggage, they've come through the post, they've been shipped with all sorts of things. Anything to get your hands on it, you got to do it. So
Yeah, cool. All right, John, thanks very much.
yeah, thanks very
Awesome
much.
collection.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to wrap up the mid-school section of the Alan's MK 2019 videos. I've been Ben Bomb Encounter, who's hurt himself doing stupid shit as always. I'm going to grab a beer to soothe the pain. Good night. Are you ready?
Yeah, when you're ready.